What happens when your trusted warrior, the man who stood shoulder to shoulder with you in the trenches, suddenly appears across the battlefield wearing enemy colors? What do you do when the pitcher who gave you hope, who delivered when it mattered most, is predicted to sign a 5-year, $110 million deal with the team you despise more than any other in baseball? This isn't speculation born from idle gossip or hot stove rumor mill nonsense. This is a calculated, cold-blooded prediction from Ryan Finkelstein of Just Baseball, and it cuts deeper than any fastball to the ribs. Ranger Suarez, our Ranger, our southpaw assassin, our quiet warrior, could be heading to Atlanta, not to some distant, harmless team in the American League, not to a rebuilding franchise where we'd wish him well from afar. No, folks, we're talking about the Atlanta Braves, the team that has haunted our division dreams, the perennial powerhouse that stands between us and National League East supremacy. This is December 24th, 2025, and while families gather for holiday celebrations, Phillies fans are confronting a nightmare scenario that threatens to poison our entire offseason. This isn't just about losing a talented pitcher. This is about potential betrayal at the highest level, a move that would fundamentally alter the balance of power in our division and leave a wound that might never fully heal. Let's break down exactly what we're dealing with here, because the details make this scenario even more agonizing. Finkelstein didn't just throw Suarez's name into a generic free agent prediction piece. He specifically targeted the Brave-Suarez connection with surgical precision, laying out a roadmap for how Atlanta could, and according to him, should rip our lefty ace away from Citizens Bank Park. The Braves could use a steady presence in the middle of their rotation, and also could use a second lefty to pair with Chris Sale, Finkelstein wrote, his words landing like body blows. Likely priced out of the market for Framber Valdez, the Braves can shoot for Suarez, looking to poach from a division rival. Poach. That word carries venom, doesn't it? It's not sign or acquire, or even pursue. It's poach, a term that implies predatory behavior, a calculated act of aggression designed not just to improve your own roster, but to actively weaken your opponent. And that's exactly what this would be. The Braves, coming off what they'd consider a disappointing 2024 season, are desperate to reload, to reassert their dominance over the division. And what better way to do that than by taking one of Philadelphia's most reliable arms and turning him into a weapon aimed directly at our hearts? The proposed contract, 5 years, $110 million, breaks down to $22 million annually. That's serious money, the kind of commitment that signals a team's belief that this pitcher can be a cornerstone of their rotation for years to come. And here's the thing that makes this so painful. Suarez is absolutely worth that investment. Over 26 starts last season, he posted a 3.20 ERA, consistently giving the Phillies quality innings when they needed them most. His ability to induce soft contact, his deceptive delivery, his unwavering composure in high-pressure situations, these aren't just statistics, they're the building blocks of championship teams. Let's talk about what this means from a pure baseball perspective, because the strategic implications are staggering. The Braves already have Chris Sale, who, when healthy, remains one of the most dominant left-handed pitchers in the game. Now, imagine pairing him with Suarez, creating an elite left-handed tandem that would terrorize opposing lineups throughout the National League East. Think about what that means for us specifically. The Phillies would face this duo multiple times per season. Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Tree Turner, our offensive cornerstones, would have to navigate through two of the best southpaws in baseball, one of whom knows their tendencies intimately, having pitched alongside them, having studied them in practice, having celebrated victories with them in the clubhouse. Finkelstein goes even further, suggesting that Suarez should be the #1 priority for both the Braves and the Detroit Tigers this offseason. That's not hyperbole, that's respected analysts saying that our pitcher should be the top target for multiple organizations. This isn't a depth piece or a back-end rotation option. This is a frontline starter, a proven winner, a pitcher who consistently delivers when the stakes are highest. The analysis becomes even more pointed. Atlanta should do whatever it takes to sign him and rip him away from a division rival. Rip him away. Again, that aggressive, predatory language. This isn't about filling a roster need through normal free agency channels. This is about inflicting damage, about gaining a competitive advantage by directly weakening your most dangerous opponent. For those who might be wondering why this feels so personal, so devastating, let me paint you a picture of what Ranger Suarez means to this organization and this fan base. He's not a mercenary who arrived via big money free agency. He's not a rental acquired at the trade deadline. Suarez came up through the Phillies system, developed his craft in our organization, and became a key contributor during our recent resurgence. His journey embodies everything we love about baseball: the patient development, the gradual improvement, the emergence of a reliable starter from a pitcher who once struggled to find his role. When Suarez takes the mound, there's a quiet confidence, a sense that he belongs in the biggest moments. He doesn't have the flashy strikeout numbers of some aces, but he has something perhaps more valuable: consistency, reliability, the ability to give you 6 or 7 quality innings night after night. Last season, when the Phillies were battling for playoff positioning, when every game carried enormous weight, Suarez was there. When the rotation needed someone to stop a losing streak, to give the bullpen a rest, to match zeros with an opposing ace, Suarez delivered. That 3.20 ERA wasn't accumulated against weak competition or in low-leverage situations. That was earned in the crucible of a pennant race, in the pressure-packed environment of a team with championship aspirations. And now, according to this prediction, all of that could be turned against us. Every scouting report he's internalized about National League East hitters, every tendency he's observed, every weakness he's identified, all of it could be weaponized by our fiercest rival. Imagine Suarez on the mound at Truist Park, staring down Harper or Schwarber, using his intimate knowledge of their approaches to carve them up. The thought is almost unbearable. To understand how this potential departure could happen, we need to examine the Phillies' current situation. Dave Dombrowski, the architect of Philadelphia's recent success, is in the midst of a significant offseason retooling. The goal is clear: push past the National League Division Series barrier that has frustrated this franchise and finally capture that elusive World Series championship. Multiple players have hit free agency, and the front office faces difficult decisions about resource allocation. The argument presented by Finkelstein suggests that with Jesus Luzardo seemingly stepping into a prominent lefty role in the rotation, the Phillies might view Suarez as expendable, or at least not essential enough to engage in a bidding war. But here's where the logic breaks down, where the cold calculus of roster construction collides with the emotional and strategic reality of division rivalries. Even if Luzardo is ready to assume a larger role, even if the Phillies have other rotation options, letting Suarez walk to Atlanta specifically would be organizational malpractice of the highest order. This isn't about whether Philadelphia can replace Suarez's production in a vacuum. It's about the compound effect of losing that production while simultaneously gifting it to your primary competitor. It's about the psychological impact on your clubhouse, the message it sends to your fan base, and the strategic disadvantage it creates in a division where every game against Atlanta could determine playoff seeding or even division titles. The Phillies are built to win now. Their core, Harper, Turner, Schwarber, Aaron Nola, Zack Wheeler, is in its prime. The window is open, but it won't stay open forever. Every decision must be evaluated through that lens. And from that perspective, allowing Suarez to sign with the Braves would be a catastrophic miscalculation, a move that could haunt this franchise for years. From the Braves' perspective, this move makes perfect sense, which only makes it more terrifying for us. Atlanta is coming off what they'd consider a disappointing season, one where they didn't meet their own lofty expectations. They're hungry, desperate even, to reassert their dominance over the division. Their front office, led by Alex Anthopoulos, has shown repeatedly that they're willing to be aggressive, creative, and yes, ruthless in pursuit of competitive advantages. The Braves' rotation needs reinforcement. While they have Sale at the top, depth and reliability behind him are question marks. Suarez provides both. He's durable, having made 26 starts last season. He's effective, with that sub 3.30 ERA. And Crucially, he's left-handed, giving Atlanta the kind of balanced attack that makes lineup construction nightmares for opposing managers. But beyond the pure baseball fit, there's the psychological warfare aspect. The Braves know that signing Suarez would demoralize Philadelphia, would create doubt and frustration in our clubhouse and fan base. They know it would shift the narrative of the division, would make them look aggressive and forward-thinking while making us look passive and vulnerable. This is the kind of move that defines off-seasons, that gets remembered years later when people talk about how divisions shifted, how dynasties were built or dismantled. If the Braves pull this off, if they actually convince Suarez to cross enemy lines, it won't just be a transaction. It'll be a statement, a declaration that they're willing to do whatever it takes to maintain their grip on the National League East. Let's be honest about what this would mean emotionally for everyone who bleeds red and white. Baseball is supposed to be entertainment, an escape, a source of joy and community. But it's also deeply personal. We invest our time, our money, our emotions into these teams. We celebrate their triumphs as our own and feel their defeats in our bones. Ranger Suarez has been part of our journey, part of our recent resurgence from also-ran to perennial contender. We've watched him develop, cheered his successes, defended him during struggles. There's a connection there, a sense of shared experience that goes beyond the purely transactional nature of professional sports. To see him in a Braves uniform would be a betrayal, even if we intellectually understand that he's making a business decision, that he has every right to pursue the best opportunity for himself and his family. The heart doesn't care about logic. The heart sees only that one of ours has become one of theirs, that a trusted ally has joined the enemy camp. Every time the Phillies face the Braves, every time Suarez takes them out against us, it would be a fresh wound. We'd watch him use the same deceptive delivery, the same pitch sequencing, the same competitive fire. Only now it's all aimed at destroying our playoff hopes rather than advancing them. The cognitive dissonance would be overwhelming, the emotional toll significant. And it's not just about the games themselves. It's about the constant reminders, the highlight reels, the post-game interviews where Suarez talks about how happy he is in Atlanta, how great the organization is, how excited he is about their championship prospects. Each one would feel like a small betrayal, a reminder of what we lost and what our rivals gained. So, where do we go from here? How do the Phillies prevent this catastrophic scenario from becoming reality? The answer is both simple and complex. They need to make Suarez an offer he can't refuse, one that makes it financially and emotionally impossible for him to choose Atlanta. 5 years, $110 million is the reported prediction. Can Philadelphia match or exceed that? Should they? The financial considerations are significant, especially for a team that already has substantial money committed to their core players. But sometimes, the value of a player extends beyond their individual production. Sometimes keeping a key contributor away from a division rival is worth a premium. The Phillies need to make Suarez understand what he means to this organization, this city, this fan base. They need to articulate a vision for the future where he's a central part of the next championship team, not just another arm in the rotation. They need to appeal to his pride, his loyalty, his desire to finish what he started in Philadelphia. But they also need to be realistic. If Suarez has his heart set on testing free agency, if the allure of a fresh start or a slightly better financial offer is too strong, there may be nothing Philadelphia can do. And that's the terrifying part, the lack of control, the understanding that despite everything we've invested emotionally, the final decision rests with the player and the market forces beyond our influence. Whether this prediction comes true or not, the mere possibility has already changed the conversation around the Phillies' offseason. It's forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about roster construction, financial limitations, and the brutal realities of division rivalries. It's reminded us that in professional sports, loyalty is often a luxury that teams and players can't afford. If Suarez does sign with Atlanta, it will be remembered as one of the most painful moments in recent Phillies history, a turning point that either galvanized the organization to respond aggressively or marked the beginning of a decline in competitiveness. If Philadelphia manages to retain him or sees him sign elsewhere, it will be viewed as a bullet dodged, A crisis averted through smart management and timely action. But the scar will remain regardless. The fact that this scenario was even possible, that a respected analyst could credibly predict one of our key players joining our most hated rival, reveals vulnerabilities in how we approach free agency and roster retention. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that standing still in this division means falling behind, that the Braves and other competitors are constantly looking for any edge, any opportunity to gain ground. The prediction is out there now, hanging over this offseason like a dark cloud. Ranger Suarez to the Atlanta Braves for 5 years and $110 million. It's a scenario that makes the blood boil, that challenges everything we believe about loyalty and competitive balance. If this nightmare scenario has your heart racing, if the thought of Suarez in Braves colors makes you want to scream into the void, drop your raw, unfiltered thoughts in the comments below. Tell us how you'd react if this prediction becomes reality. Tell us what the Phillies should do to prevent it. And if you want to ride this emotional roller coaster with us through every twist and turn of this offseason, join this community right now. Because when the unthinkable happens, when the rumors become reality, we'll be here together, processing the pain and plotting the path forward. This is our team, our passion, our shared heartbreak. And whatever happens with Ranger Suarez, we'll face it as a family.